All right, so ready to turn that love of craft beer into a career as a brewmaster. Awesome. We're going to take a deep dive into how to make that happen, especially that all-important interview.
Yeah, we've got some incredible resources from RoleCatcher.
Oh, cool.
Career guides, interview guides, even some AI magic to help you really stand out.
So think of this deep dive as your secret weapon, like your personal playbook
Exactly.
for brewing up interview success.
Love it.
Now, I know brewing is all about, that science and art.
Yeah.
But what really does a brewmaster do, like, day to day?
Well, that's more than just loving beer.
Of course.
You are the conductor of the entire brewing process. So from selecting ingredients to, monitoring fermentation, ensuring that quality, and even dreaming up those innovative new brews that get everyone talking.
Okay, so I'm picturing you with a giant conductor's baton, just like leading the yeast in a symphony of fermentation.
That's it.
But RoleCatcher also mentioned some, realities of the job.
Absolutely. It is demanding, long hours, maybe some odd schedules, and it's a competitive field. So passion is a must, but you need a solid strategy to showcase your skills.
Right.
That's where those interview questions come in.
Okay, so let's tackle some of those head-on. RoleCatcher's interview guide has a bunch of common ones, starting with, can you tell us about your experience in brewing?
Okay.
Seems simple, but how do you really nail that?
Well, think of it as telling your brewing story.
Okay.
Did you take any brewing science courses? Do you have certifications like a certified Cicerone or a master brewer?
Ooh.
Those are great highlights, but even more important is showcasing that hands-on experience.
Yeah, RoleCatcher's career guide emphasizes practical experience like a lot.
Yeah.
I bet even for entry-level roles, things like internships, volunteering at breweries, or even homebrew clubs can make a big difference.
You got it. And don't forget brewing competitions.
Oh, yeah?
Entering those shows, you can put those skills to the test, and it looks impressive on a resume. When answering Be specific, don't just say, helped with brewing. Instead say, I developed a recipe for a dry-hopped pale ale and oversaw the entire brewing process from grain to glass.
Okay, that's way more impactful.
Yes.
I also noticed RoleCatcher mentions a possible follow-up question. What's your favorite beer style to brew and why?
Ooh, that's where your personality shines.
Okay.
Pick a style you genuinely enjoy and let that passion flow. Maybe you love the challenge of a complex stout or the refreshing simplicity of a Pilsner.
Yeah.
Be genuine and explain why that style speaks to you.
Yeah, this is where RoleCatcher's AI could come in handy, right?
Yeah.
I hear it can analyze those job descriptions and help tailor your answers for specific roles.
Exactly. Their AI can identify what skills they're really looking for and help you refine those responses so you come across as confident and knowledgeable.
Okay, that's a game changer.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on to how do you ensure the consistency and quality of your beer? That sounds like a big one.
It is, this question is all about showing your understanding of the process.
Right.
And your attention to detail. Think about each stage, from ingredient selection to fermentation, and highlight specific techniques you use to maintain that perfect brew.
Like with mentioning regular sensory evaluations, meticulous sanitation.
Yes.
Or how you fine-tune those mash temperatures, impress them.
Absolutely. It shows you're a stickler for quality.
Okay.
And be ready for follow-ups like, what are some key quality control metrics you track?
Okay.
Or tell me about a time you had to make a tough decision to maintain quality.
Ooh.
Things like that.
Okay, time for a question that tests problem-solving skills. Can you describe a time when you had to troubleshoot a problem in the brewing process? I'd be sweating bullets on this one.
Don't sweat it. This is your chance to shine. Pick a specific example, even if it wasn't a perfect outcome.
Yeah.
Walk them through the problem, how you diagnosed the root cause, and the steps you took to solve it.
Yeah. RoleCatcher's interview guide suggests using the STAR method: situation, task, action, result.
Yes.
That helps tell a clear and compelling story.
They're looking for analytical thinking, resourcefulness, and a willingness to learn.
Well,
they might even ask, what did you learn from this experience? Or how would you approach a similar situation differently now?
got it. So always showing growth and continuous learning.
Yeah.
Now, before we jump into more questions, let's peek at RoleCatcher's career guide.
Okay.
I'm curious about what they say about advancing in this field.
Well, they're big on continuous learning. The brewing world is always evolving, so staying updated on new techniques and trends is essential.
Right.
Advanced brewing courses, workshops, or even podcasts and webinars can give you a real edge.
What about finding a mentor? I bet learning from a seasoned brewer is invaluable.
Definitely. And showcasing your work is important too.
Okay.
Create a portfolio that highlights your recipes, techniques, even experiments that didn't quite work out.
Okay.
It shows passion and a willingness to experiment.
Love that. Back to the interview gauntlet with, how do you stay up to date with industry trends and developments?
Right.
What are some good ways to show you're on top of things?
This is your chance to highlight your proactive side. Mention industry publications you read, conferences you attend,
Okay.
or online resources you follow, even social media groups where brewers share ideas.
Would mentioning a recent article that changed my brewing process or a new hop variety. I'm eager to try work.
Perfect examples, and be ready for follow-ups like, what's a recent brewing trend that interests you and why? Or how do you incorporate new knowledge into your brewing?
All right, now for a question that lets creativity flow. How do you approach recipe development and experimentation? This is where the magic happens.
Exactly. Share your unique style.
Okay.
Maybe you start with classic styles and add your own twist.
Right.
Or maybe you draw inspiration from culinary trends or local ingredients. You know, it's really up to you.
It's all about showing that thought process.
Yeah.
Do you research historical brewing methods? Experiment with different yeast strains or hop combinations?
And don't be afraid to talk about failures. Some of the most innovative beers were born from brewers who weren't afraid to experiment and learn from their mistakes.
I love that it shows you're not afraid to push those boundaries.
Yeah.
And I bet they might ask follow-ups like, walk us through your process for developing a new beer recipe, or tell us about a time an experiment led to an unexpected but awesome result.
Right. There's great opportunities to tell your brewing stories.
And this is another area where RoleCatcher's AI shines.
Yes.
Their tools can analyze job descriptions and suggest specific skills or experiences to highlight in your answers,
Exactly.
making them extra impactful.
It's like having a personal interview coach tailoring your responses to each brewery and role you apply for.
Okay, we've tackled some tough ones, but there's more brewing knowledge to tap into. In the next part of our deep dive, we'll cover leadership barrel aging sour beers, even managing brewery equipment and facilities. So grab another round and we'll be right back.
Sounds good. Okay, so let's tap back into those interview questions.
All right.
Now, this next one is crucial if you're aiming for a leadership role. Can you describe your leadership style?
Ooh, I bet this is where you show them you can not only brew a killer IPA, but also inspire and lead a team to do the same.
Exactly. Think about how you motivate people. Delegate tasks, handle conflicts, and make those tough decisions.
Right.
Are you a collaborative leader? Hands-on, more strategic.
Okay.
Be authentic and give specific examples of how your leadership style has gotten results in the past.
Yeah, RoleCatcher's interview guide talks about focusing on your core values as a leader. Do you prioritize teamwork, innovation, maybe laser focus on quality?
Right.
It sounds like weaving those values into your answer is key.
Absolutely. And be prepared for follow-ups. Like, how would you handle a disagreement within your team?
Oh, yeah.
Or describe a time you had to motivate your team to reach a challenging goal.
Okay.
Remember, people skills are as important as brewing skills.
That makes total sense. Now let's dive into some technical questions.
Okay.
RoleCatcher says barrel aging and sour beers are popular topics.
Yeah.
First up, can you discuss your experience with barrel aging?
This is your time to get specific.
Okay.
What types of barrels have you worked with oak bourbon wine?
Ooh.
Each one imparts unique flavors to the beer. Talk about your techniques, aging times, and how you monitor that magical process.
Would mentioning the specific types of oak, like American versus French,
Yes.
or even the toasting levels of the barrels, impress them?
For sure, showcasing that deeper understanding of the craft is gold.
Mm.
They might even ask, what are some challenges you face with barrel aging?
Oh.
Or tell me about a barrel-aged beer you're particularly proud of.
Okay, onto the wild side of brewing sour beers.
Right.
RoleCatcher says they might ask, can you discuss your experience with sour beers?
Okay.
What kind of knowledge are they looking for here?
This question dives into your knowledge of the specific bacteria and yeast strains that create those tart, funky flavors. We love Lactobacillus, Pediococcus, Brettanomyces. Have you worked with those?
I've heard of those.
Yeah.
But to be honest, I'm still wrapping my head around the whole sour beer process. It seems almost like controlled chaos.
Right.
Compared to traditional brewing.
That's a great way to put it. So if you have experience with those, describe your techniques for managing these microorganisms and how you create different sour styles.
Okay.
And be prepared to discuss the challenges. Maintaining a clean brewing environment while intentionally introducing wild yeast and bacteria is a balancing act.
Now that you mentioned it, they could even ask follow-ups like, What are some key things to consider when designing a sour beer recipe?
Yeah.
Or describe a time you had to adjust your process to hit that perfect level of sourness.
Exactly. It's all about showcasing your mastery of those techniques. Now let's switch gears to the more practical side of brewery management. How do you manage and maintain the brewery's equipment and facilities?
This one sounds less about brewing and more about being a handyman.
Well, it's all connected.
Right.
This question is about your proactive approach to keeping things running smoothly.
Okay.
Describe your system for preventative maintenance, cleaning and sanitation protocols, and how you troubleshoot equipment issues.
So if I've worked in a brewery before, would giving examples of my maintenance routines
Yes,
or a time I fixed a tricky equipment problem be helpful?
absolutely. And don't forget about safety. They'll want to know how you ensure a safe working environment for yourself and your team. They might even ask, what are some key safety considerations in a brewery? Or describe your process for responding to an equipment malfunction.
Great points. Now for the final question in this round, it's a big one. How do you manage and motivate your team? It seems like this goes beyond just barking orders.
It's all about creating a positive and productive environment. How do you set clear expectations, give constructive feedback, and foster teamwork?
RoleCatcher's interview guide highlights recognizing individual strengths.
Yeah, and adapting your management style to different personalities.
Right.
Do you lead by example, empower your team, or focus on mentorship?
Those are all excellent points. They want to see you can adapt your leadership to get the best from your team. And be prepared for those tough questions too.
Yeah.
How do you handle conflict resolution? How do you keep morale up when things get tough?
So they could ask follow-ups like, describe a time you had to address a performance issue with a team member, or how would you foster a culture of continuous improvement?
Exactly. They're looking for that combination of brewing knowledge and leadership skills. And don't forget, this is where RoleCatcher's AI can be incredibly helpful. Their platform can analyze job descriptions and recommend which leadership skills to emphasize based on the specific role you're applying for.
It's like having a personal interview strategist in your corner. Okay, before we move on to the final round of questions, let's take a step back. RoleCatcher's Career Guide emphasizes that becoming a brewmaster isn't just about technical skills. It's about passion, creativity, and a deep respect for the craft. It's that spark of innovation, that drive to create something unique and delicious, and that unwavering commitment to quality. Let your passion shine through in your answers.
Great advice.
Oh.
So as we head into the final part of our deep dive,
Okay.
remember to be authentic,
Yes.
be knowledgeable, and be ready to share your brewing journey with enthusiasm.
Yeah.
And in the final part, we'll explore some additional resources and strategies to help you really stand out and land that dream brewmaster job. Okay, we're back and ready to, finish strong with the final fermentation of our brewmaster interview prep.
Nice.
Covered a ton, but RoleCatcher has even more gems to
Yeah.
help you stand out from the crowd.
That's right. We're talking strategies to make you a truly memorable candidate.
Okay.
Someone those brewers can't wait to have on their team.
Okay, let's hear it. What kind of secret weapons are we talking about?
Well, RoleCatcher is a huge proponent of certifications.
Okay.
They add serious weight to your application, demonstrating dedication and specialized knowledge. Think of them as badges of honor in the brewing world.
So we're talking certified Cicerone Master, brewer certified brewmaster, even the beer judge certification program.
All of them.
Each one proves you've gone above and beyond to master your craft.
Exactly. Those certifications show you're serious about brewing excellence and can give you a real edge over other applicants. Now, beyond certifications, let's not forget the power of networking.
Oh, yeah.
RoleCatcher's Career Guide stresses that this industry thrives on connections.
I imagine it as a giant interconnected web of brewers, suppliers, distributors, and beer enthusiasts all sharing their knowledge and passion.
That's a perfect analogy, and you want to be a vibrant part of that web. Attending industry events, conferences, and joining professional associations are all fantastic ways to connect.
Don't forget those online communities, too. Social media brewing forums, even online courses can open doors to meeting fellow brewers and industry experts.
Absolutely. It's all about building relationships, exchanging ideas, and staying plugged into the brewing world. Now, before we wrap up, let's revisit RoleCatcher's AI tools one last time.
Okay.
They have this amazing feature called the Career Compass that can be super helpful.
Okay. Career Compass. I love the name. It sounds like a GPS guiding you toward your brewing destiny.
That's exactly it. The Career Compass helps you map out potential career paths, identify any skills gaps you might have, and even discover related brewing career options you might not have considered before.
So if someone's passionate about brewing but also has a knack for business,
Yeah.
the Career Compass might point them towards roles like brewery manager or even starting their own brewery.
Precisely. It's about expanding your horizons and making informed decisions about your career trajectory. Their AI can even analyze your skills and experience and suggest personalized learning paths to help you reach your goals.
That's incredible. Okay, before we raise our glasses for a final toast,
Right.
let's circle back to those interview questions one last time.
Okay.
Any final words of wisdom?
Well, it's not just about having the right answers. It's about showcasing your passion, your knowledge, and your unique brewing style. Let your enthusiasm for the craft shine through.
Be authentic, be knowledgeable, and be ready to share your brewing journey with genuine excitement. And don't forget to ask thoughtful questions at the end of the interview. It shows you're engaged and genuinely curious.
Great point. You could ask about the brewery's approach to innovation, their sustainability practices, or their vision for the future. Show them you're thinking beyond just landing the job.
Those are fantastic suggestions.
Yeah.
And here's a final thought to mull over as you prepare. Imagine you're crafting a beer that embodies your career journey.
Ooh.
What ingredients would you use? What unique brewing techniques would you employ to make it truly special? Let that question simmer as you head into that interview.
I love that it's about brewing a career that's as distinctive and flavorful as the beers you create. Cheers to that.
And that wraps up our deep dive into becoming a brewmaster. We've covered the role-tackled tough questions and even explored incredible resources like RoleCatcher's AI tools. Remember, you have the passion, the drive, and now the knowledge to ferment success. Go out there and brew a brilliant career